Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Jewelry with Jen. I'm Jen, and I am back with, as you can see, the white paws in the background, Gypsy. And, okay, bye Gypsy. It was just, it was just a moment of stardom. Okay. Now, the first thing what we're going to do is, and by the way, you can make these as, there's no need to measure. You can if you want. You can make them as short or as long as you want. So what the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to unravel a nice piece of wire, because these are pretty big and I'm not sure how short or long this is going to be. So I'm going to give myself plenty of room. And before I take it off my spool, I'm going to go ahead and use my nylon jaw and I'm going to straighten it out. And if you are not familiar with working with craft wire, if you're a beginner coming across my video, or you're a beginner subscriber watching my videos, go back in, if you haven't already, to my playlist, that Jewelry 101 series, and go ahead and look at that wire wrapping and working with artistic wire video I have up on how to make the simple loops, because I demonstrate and I do a deep dive discussion into all that. So this is probably like way too long, but doesn't matter. It's okay. Nothing ever goes to waste, but I want to make sure I have enough. So what we're going to do is, to start out, guys, is we're just going to go down, I don't know, probably about 1.5 inches or so. And from our wire at the top here, and then we'll do a right bend, and then we'll grab our round nose. And right now we just want to do kind of a little bit of a small loop. So I've got that just about right there to the edge of my plier. It's just a little bit of space, probably maybe a centimeter. Okay, and so now we will do some, our regular, make our loops. We'll pull the wire forward, pivot our tool, and then take this piece of wire to the back, just like that. Okay, and now we have our loop. And the second thing we're going to do is we are going to grab some chain nose, and then we'll hold that loop, and then we'll open it up. And we are going to attach the swivel right to the loop. Okay, and then so grab your chain nose, and then you will go in and put your loop back close. So we're gonna just grab that top wire and bend it back down just like that. And so now our loop, which is the perfect size, it still goes around on the swivel, is right there. And now what we'll do is you're gonna put your chain nose, and we'll just do our regular wire wrapping. And so I'll put my chain nose right over that loop, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this small piece of wire around, and I'm just gonna do 3 wraps. Hi, Gypsy. And that's a nice clean 3 wraps. We're all good there. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut that off. So we'll just go in with our cutters, and we'll go ahead and snip that. And then we'll tuck in that burr. You do not want any sharp edges. So we'll get that all nice and tucked in. Perfect. No sharp edges. And so now this is what we have to go ahead and start it out. Okay? Very, very easy. Now we have our long piece of wire, and we can simply feed on our beads in any desired pattern that we want. Kind of just, I like the uniformity of that. Yeah, okay. So we fed on our beads, we decided on our pattern. And so we're going to basically finish this exactly the way we started it, because we're going to add a dangle, right? And just like we wire wrapped this directly on the swivel, we're going to add the dangle on and wire wrap it on our loop we're going to make here on the bottom. So we're going to do the same thing, guys. We'll just go up probably about 2 or 3 fingernail spaces there, enough for 3 wraps. And we'll just do a right bend. And then we'll put our round nose in there. And again, we just need to make a very small loop. So I'm going to put my chain nose towards the end of my plier there. We're going to pull that to the front. And then I'm going to pivot, and then we'll pull that to the back to where it kind of looks like that. So there, now you have your loop. Okay. And then we'll pull our round nose out, and then we'll grab our chain nose again, and then we will go ahead and let's open that loop up. Okay, and now we will grab our top drill hole crystal here, and we're going to put a jump ring on it. They're these large 8mm, and as you can see, I can literally do it with my finger, but they're really great because they literally close perfectly without even a smidge of a gap. I love these jump rings. You almost don't need a tool for them. They're fantastic. I love them. And so I'm going to just now take that jump ring and feed it right over my wire right here. And then it's going to fall down in that loop, right? And now we're going to go ahead, grab your chain nose again. You're going to put your chain nose over that loop. Let me try to get this to where I can show you how I'm doing it, but I got to hold the dangle. And so we want to put the chain nose kind of over the loop and then squeeze it. And then that went ahead and closed our loop back up. Okay, so that's what we have. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put your chain nose over the loop, and then we're going to grab this and we're going to wrap it around 3 times again. So there's 1, 2, 3. Well, 3.5. 3.5 it is. And then we'll cut that off. Flush cut that wire. Be careful when you're cutting your wire, guys. We're going to tuck in the burn now. You definitely want to be mindful, you know, that you're cutting down towards the mat. The wire does tend to fling. And so now what you do is we'll just grab it and we'll see, do we need to straighten anything out? You know, then we can do just exactly that. And that's what's so great about the 20 gauge craft wire. It's very malleable. We can definitely work with it. It works with us. That's what we've made. Isn't that beautiful? There you go. So we've wire wrapped right to our swivel. We made just some random beautiful pattern here. Used any beads we want. We wire wrapped and added a dangle right on the bottom. So there you go, my friends. And then we can attach this to whatever. That is so pretty. I really like that. I love these beads. I was so excited to use them. I'm so glad I finally am using them because I've been wanting to use them, and now it's the perfect time of year to start using them. And so, you know, if we wanna, you know, put this on, you know, a set of keys, you know, we certainly could. But that even makes a really beautiful bag dangle, actually, doesn't it? So that's what we've got, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that.